My dear friends, have you at any point asked yourself what particularly makes the Jewish people successful? Well, throughout history, the Jewish people have been perceived as wealthy. Even today, when you look at the top wealthiest human beings on this planet today, you'd realize that among them, 7 of them are either Jewish or they were greatly influenced by the Jewish culture. And that is why in today's episode, we'll be delving on this question of what is it that contributes to the success of the Jewish people. I welcome you to the 7th episode of the Insightful Daily. My name is Lesego, Montsho, the visionary of all times. Without wasting any time, let's jump into today's episode. What is it that contributes to the success of the Jewish people? First, you need to understand that Judaism doesn't view poverty as a sign of righteousness, as other religions do, or as other religions might. In Judaism, they believe that each person should avoid poverty and must be employed to sustain themselves, and most importantly, to earn a living. And this is the primal factor that makes the Jewish people to have a crazy work ethic and also personal responsibility when it comes to their earnings. In addition, you need to understand that the Jewish people value education so much, and they are the most educated religious group in the world. Jewish people value education, and that is why you realize that the empirical studies reveal that most Jewish across the world who are aged 25 and above worldwide have finished different levels of education, and they have had some form of education or schooling. Among them, 61% of them have attained higher education compared to the 41% who are non-Jewish. Still, in this factor of education, you need to understand that at age 3, the Jewish start to teach their children the alphabet through their traditional Jewish education, whereby they also learn about their faith of Judaism and commit to the Jewish laws, which are known as the halakha, so that they learn to abide by their Jewish laws. And as part of that religion, before a child becomes a teenager, they teach them trade and job skills so that they can make a living for their family. Jewish kids, my dear friends, are well prepared with all-round knowledge and aspirations at an early age. And that is why most Nobel Prize winners such as Mr. Albert Einstein are of Jewish descent. Moving on, one factor that makes Jewish people successful is their amazing business networks. Jewish people take pride in sharing their wealth to benefit their entire community. Jewish people established connections with other Jewish, and they keep brotherly love towards each other. And that is why their business network is arguably one of the most important components in their business success and entrepreneurial success. My dear friends, the Jewish people are among the first people to undergo globalization by building international ties way ahead of other nations. In Judaism, the Jews are responsible for one another, like I said earlier, and that is why you'll never see a homeless Jewish person. Even though Jewish are a minority population in most countries, their presence remains intact. In the Jewish culture, if someone opens a new business, the entire Jewish community will rally behind them to support it. If someone falls out in hard times, the entire community will help them out because the Judaic law instructs them to protect and respect one another. And that is why the Jewish people are successful. Another factor that makes the Jewish people successful is because they know the principle of giving. The Jewish people, my dear friends, believe in giving. They believe that 10 to 20% of their income or wages should go towards the religious or charitable causes. But they don't believe people should rely on charity to lift themselves up. And also they are taught through their Judaic laws that they should not be a burden to their community. And this kind of mindset paves a solid foundation to achieving success, as it is the only option. Another factor that you need to understand about the Jewish people's success is that their religion has its own religious business teachings. It teaches good business practices based on their holy book, the Torah, and also many Jewish philosophers. They've made it clear that a business must be operated with honesty and integrity. There is no room for dishonesty in Jewish business. Any deception or price fixing against customers is known as honor in that Jewish culture. And this translates to oppression. And that is why Jewish people are very attractive as business partners. The fifth factor that can be credited for the success of the Jewish community is their resilience and perseverance. One of the reasons why the Jewish people are very successful is because of their amazing resilience and perseverance. Despite all the challenges, the Jewish people keep resilience all the time. It's in that DNA that they should be resilient. Therefore, giving up is never an option to the Jewish people. When things don't go their way, they choose to persist in course of action and with purpose in spite of all the difficulties or obstacles that they face. The fifth factor that makes the Jewish people successful, my dear friends, is linked to the first factor that I shared with you. The Jewish people, like I said, value education. And not just education, but education in different fields. And one of those education is what is known as the financial education. The kind of generational knowledge and market confidence in the fields of finance and property that the Jewish community has is comparable to none. They were even the first people to open the first banks in Europe. If you're someone who loves to dig deep into history, you would learn that what we have today as the banking system is a concept that was built first by the Jewish people. So you can see that this is a kind of people or a group of people who indeed have a great sense of foresight. Amazing visionaries. The sixth factor that makes the Jewish people is that they have something called 5 jars, whereby they teach their children money language. And from a tender age, they use the 5 jars, whereby the children learn to be money wise through means of using jars. The first jar is labeled tithes, the second one is labeled givings and offerings, the third one is written savings, the fourth one is written investing, and the final one is written spending. So in the Jewish culture, children are given 10 coins that they put in each jar. In the tithes one, they put 1 coin. In the giving, they put 1. In the savings, they put 1. In investing, they put 2. And in spending, they put 5 respectively. The tithes jar is opened every Sunday. And you have to understand that tithes means tenth, which means from any earning that they make or wage they make, they put the tenth of that income into the tithes jar. And it's opened every Sunday. When it comes to the giving and offering jar, it is opened every month. It is opened every month end. And then the savings jar is open only on special occasions, whereas the investing jar is only opened when full. And parents do not intervene or interfere in this process. The child learns to be responsible for their money. And that is one of the secrets for the success of the Jewish people. My dear friends, I believe by now you can see that there's no any hidden power or any hidden mission that the Jewish people use for their wealth. It's simply living by the right principles, and it's greatly influenced by the Judaic laws. So now we move to the final factor that influences the success of the Jewish people. My dear friends, the Jewish people practice what is known as wealth management. In the Jewish culture, wealth has to be managed effectively. There is even a book called Sages of the Talmud that shares many insightful lessons on how wealth can be managed through spiritual motivation. The book also touches on matters of finance and diversification. In this book, you will learn not to expose all your capital to one particular risk or asset, but rather you learn to spread it out so that you reduce the risk. And this concept is very much similar to the concept of Warren Buffett, who said that do not put all your eggs in one basket. So you can see clearly that the Jewish people are people who really see things in an interesting way. And you can see that the Jewish people are the kind of people who see life differently, and they even apply these principles of that Judaic law. And it is to a great extent the biggest influence in how they have made themselves a very successful community. If you have learned something new and value-adding in this episode, do not hesitate to hit the subscribe button and follow us on anchor.fm. My name is Lesego, Montsho, the visionary of all times. I hope to see you again in the next episode. This was episode 7, and I hope you've really learned a lot from it. Make sure that you stay and subscribe to our channel so that you get to see and experience more. Share this with your friends and family, because the reason why the Jewish people are successful the way they are is because they know these secrets, they know these principles, and as I've shared them here with you, you can also share them with your family and friends so that you can also be as successful as the Jewish people. Have a lovely day. Peace.